I'm Maddie, and this channel is very fresh. No one really knows what it is, and that's okay. But I thought that I would make a video kind of explaining why I made this channel, and I thought I'd just explain some of my reasonings for starting and making videos. So if you want to watch, you can watch. If you don't want to watch, I don't care. My reasoning for starting this channel was more as almost like a healing process type of thing for me. So I have always craved creativity, but I haven't been great at it, if that makes sense. I can't just think of things. Like, if you tell me to paint something, I will look on Pinterest for at least an hour before I can decide anything even remotely think would be cool. So I'm not creative in that aspect, but I do like to film. I like to do stuff like this. I like to take pictures. I just like to capture moments, I guess, is more of where my creativity stems from. Like, some people will just look at a thing that's happening in their life and they don't think anything of it, but I like to think of it as oh, that's a moment, we can snap that right there. So that's why I kind of am sticking with the name Madi Moments for now, because it's just little moments in my life that are either meaningful, impactful, or I just know that it's going to make a difference later on down the road, some of these moments that happened in my life. So I thought I'd document some of them. So I was starting to get back into filming and making cute little videos in the fall semester, the beginning of the fall semester of my junior year in college, which I'm only there for 3 years, but it was my junior year technically. But yeah, so I was filming some videos with my roommate, she was amazing, and we made one video. We had filmed stuff for another video, a couple other videos, but just with classes, busy schedules, it was hard. And things were shifting and things were changing, and eventually my roommate left. And she doesn't really talk to me anymore, which is okay. Then I kind of stopped. I would still take pictures every once in a while, but I wasn't recording things as much because it's not as fun to do by yourself. It's nice to have someone to bounce off of. But yeah, so I stopped, and that's when a lot of things happened in life. Junior year was not a good year. It was okay. There were great aspects, and definitely have good memories, spent a lot of good time with friends, but there were also a lot of things that if I could go back and do it differently, I definitely would. Because so much stuff happened my junior year, I don't want to settle with, okay, my life is just gonna be bad all the time. It's going to be negative. Good things will happen every once in a while, but my life is basically made up of all these negative events. I don't want to think like that, and I don't want those negative moments to impact and decide my entire life. I want those positive aspects to be what brings me into the future, into my next path. So basically, I'm trying to take all these negative events and turn it into a good thing and be well, this happened, how can I better myself? How can I improve? How can I become a better person? How can senior year becomes so much better than junior year. Things like that. I just want to see how I can turn all these negative things into one big giant good thing. It's kind of a healing process in that sense, but also it is just a way for me to give myself a little bit of an excuse to go out and explore. Like if I'm gonna record and make a video, obviously I have to do something so I can talk about something in my video. So what my plan is to like go and do things and record, take pictures. Like, I don't know exactly how structure videos yet, but if I can at least be going out and doing things and documenting it, I can at least come here and make a video later and talk about it. So yeah, another big thing was that throughout my junior year, with everything that was happening, there were also weird moments where I really thought back to my younger self. And so a lot of it was like I would just stand in the mirror and it was like I wasn't even looking at current me, I was looking at younger me. And it was the weirdest thing ever, but it was like that literally what was happening was I was like looking, it was like I was looking at my younger self in the mirror and thinking like, am I making her proud? I struggled with that a lot because as much as I was okay with where I was in my life, I also wasn't completely sure if I was doing what was best for her or if I was almost like failing her in a way. And so because of that, I've decided like choices in my life, like the choices that I make in my life from now on aren't just gonna be how is current me going to feel, how is current me gonna be affected. Instead, it's gonna be looking at it from like, if my younger self was watching, how would she think? How would she react? Would she be cheering me on or would she be disappointed? Like, would she click on a different video, you know? And so I just want to make sure that like, yeah, I want to be considerate of me now, but I also want to know that what I'm doing is something that she would be proud of. YouTube also is going to allow me to, you know, get into my creative side. Like I said, it's something that, you know, I don't want to be spending hours on my phone. So if I'm recording a video on my phone, it's a little bit different because it's not social media and I can, you know, do that. But also like, it's just a fun little hobby in a way. Let my creativity flow through me. Growing up, I used to make videos with my cousin. So there's always been a little part of me that's like had this weird passion in wanting to make some type of content, and here we are. And so but yeah, it also allows me to take the little that I have here in my town and see what I can turn it into and how I can make it a bigger thing than I originally thought I could. So yeah, and then it also gives me just that extra excuse to get outside my comfort zone and do things that I normally wouldn't do. That way I have something to talk about. So yeah, ultimately this channel is just gonna be, this channel is ultimately gonna be a lot of random things, a lot of what's going on in my life, and like good updates, bad updates, maybe, depending on what the bad updates are. And then hopefully it'll be lots of me going and doing things, hanging out with friends. I know that I have a lot of friends that like to get coffee, and so I'm hoping that I can catch up with them and make little videos. Obviously I won't be filming the whole time I'm with them, but maybe I'll just do like coffee of the day or something. We'll see what happens. So another thing that is interesting to me is like fitness. So currently I've been running. I go to the gym with one of my friends back at school, and so I might make a little video about where I'm at in my little fitness journey. And that'll more be for me than for anyone else. If it helps someone else, encourages someone else, that's great. But again, like a lot of it is just gonna be for me to see how far I've come, and so I can look back one day and see how much I was hopefully thriving, and see how much I can improve. And yeah, so if you have any ideas of things that you'd want me to do or talk about, or anything, like feel free to leave a comment or message me or whatever. If you have a video, if you want to be in a video with me and you know who I am, send me a message and we'll make something happen. Again, it's not gonna be anything super crazy, wild, whatever, but we're gonna have fun with it, and that's all that matters. So yeah.